Hi. Hey, this is Gingersnap, a conversation and a cookie with a creative Mainer. I'm Lisa Redfern. Today, my creative Mainer is Susan Carlson. We're here in her studio, her art studio in Harpswell. She's an artist and a quilter, but a special kind of quilter. She does fabric collage, and she has a very particular technique for that. And I'm going to let you tell everybody all about that.
Okay. All right. So it's a fabric collage, like you said. And it's kind of like what people would think of as collage, except instead of using paper and glue, I use fabric and glue. So that's the very simple, basic part of it. Yeah.
Though, as you can see from behind us, this is a little part of a huge, huge
the hind
piece.
quarters.
Yeah, we're sitting in front of the back end of a large crocodile. Right?
Yeah, Stevie the crocodile. It's her name. Yeah, she's 20 feet, 20 feet long from nose to tail, because she's a saltwater crocodile, and that's the average size of a saltwater crocodile, which is the Earth's largest living reptile.
Holy moly.
And I needed to do it in fabric so people could see that.
And you do a lot of animals.
I do a lot of animals, I like animals. I think I like the personalities you can work into an animal. Yeah.
Can you show them what you're working on right now?
Yes. Speaking of personalities, and
These are not animals.
Well, they're kind of animals, right? Children. So this is my son and my niece, Maya. My son Sam and niece Maya, when they were like about like 3 and a year and a half old.
So cute.
And now he's 20 and she's 18. So it's about time that I finish this quilt for my parents. It was their present, like, so supposed to be 5 years ago. And just finishing it up now. So some things are like that.
Yeah, so it's very painterly. When you see it in person, it feels like I'm looking over at this, which I'll take a photograph of and post when I post this on Facebook. If you sort of blur your eyes, it looks like a painting, and then you get up close and you.
Yeah, because I work with lots of little pieces of fabric.
Yeah.
And so the little pieces of colors from one fabric blend with the colors from the next. And so it does look like, it's kind of like brush strokes in a way, except it's fabric.
That's so cool. So if you want to know about Susan's art, you want to see more of it, and if you would like to read her blog that comes out weekly, you can go to susancarlson.com.
Yep, that's the best place. Yeah, you can read all the blogs. You can subscribe to the news, to the blog. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a newsletter. There's all sorts of stuff. There's galleries and all sorts of things.
Yeah. So I highly recommend taking a look at that. When did you first come to Maine?
I first came to Maine with a family trip because we had, there was kind of a connection with friends, and way back when I was like in junior high. But then I came back with a friend of mine to this place called Harpswell because she had family who, her older siblings kept moving up here and meeting people and then getting married and staying. And then the next sibling would come. And so finally my friend, who was the youngest, came up and met somebody, and then she wanted me to come up because she didn't want to be up here just herself. And so she wanted me to come up and meet somebody. I said, well, I'll come up, but don't count on anything else. And the day after we arrived, I met Tom, who have now been 32 years that we've been together. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, that was 32 years ago we met.
Yeah. A lot happens in Maine with love connections.
Something about it.
I hear a lot about, that is a common story where somebody comes up, they meet someone, and then they leave their former life and make a new life in Maine. It's a great story. I like it. Okay, Susan, do you know your first word?
I asked my parents about it, and it sounds like Mama and Daddy.
Yeah.
Nothing too special.
Yes.
No, that's what they both, I don't know if that's what they wanted it to be, or that's what it was. Hard to say.
Right. Okay, well, my first word was cookie, which is one of my excuses for having cookies. Susan made an entire plate of vegan cookies.
With my mom's help, because we call them
Thank you, Meta.
Yeah, we call them Oma. Yeah, Lisa knows my mom. Call them Oma's cookies, which is German for grandmother. Yep.
Oh, it smells so good.
Yep. So it's they're also known, the actual recipe, they're called walnut maple cookies.
Yeah. Oh, these are good.
And they're gluten-free.
Yeah.
All sorts of good stuff.
So I can have 6 of them.
I can send some home. Keep eating one all you want.
All right. Thank you, Meta. Oma. Did you have a cool car when you were a kid that you'd like to get back?
It was funny though you had that question, because when I think back, there was this one car, and all I could remember was a Mercury. But I went to look it up. It was a Mercury breezeway.
Ooh,
and they were out in like
cool.
1963. So I was born in 1960. So it would have been about the right time. And I forgot to ask my parents about it. But it was really cool. It was this big white car, big white sedan. And the back window had a slant to it. And it went up and down. It was retractable. So it was really breezy when you were there with like a family. Yeah, right, exactly, a family car. And I read that it went out of style because air conditioning came along. But that was like a prior air conditioning.
Wow.
But it was really neat because it would lower down, and now I think about it, and wow, you have kids in the back with no seatbelts and this big open window in the back.
Oh yeah,
probably wasn't the safest of all things, but yeah, it would have been kind of. But so it was the Mercury Breezeway. It was a white Mercury Breezeway, and it would be fun to see it again.
We had a big white Mercury, but it was like a barge. It was just one long sedan. The trunk was like this big. It was huge. I mean, you know, in relation to the car, the trunk took up the whole. Yeah, I love that car.
Yeah.
All right. I know you're a reader. So, do you have a book or two that you have recommended a lot to people that you love?
Yeah, there's
really
yeah, please. Yeah, I'm doing the talking, so you can eat all you want.
Well,
there is a book that I recommend to people because I am a teacher and I teach the fabric collage that I do, and it's also kind of unlocking creativity, right? And so one thing I recommend a lot is Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird.
That's one of my favorites too.
This one here, it's all you can see it's all dog-eared and stained and stuff. But I read this probably like once a year. And I recommend it to my students. There's almost always someone in the class who has heard of Anne Lamott or has read Bird by Bird. But it's really, it's about, she says it's some instructions on writing and life. And you can apply this to like any sort of creative endeavor.
It's really true.
Yep. And it's funny too. It's nonfiction, but it's really funny. So
she's one of the funniest writers out there. My sister took me to a workshop at Spirit Rock in Marin one time years ago when I lived out in California, and it was just Anne Lamott all day and 10 or 12 of us, and it was so funny and so fun. And
yeah, because she's San Francisco based.
Yeah, she lives in San Rafael, and yes, I recommend that book to a lot of people too. And just the idea that step by step, bird by bird, you can
piece by piece,
get done what you need to get done.
In my classes, it's piece by piece.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean, here's this huge thing, but it's made up of little tiny pieces of things. Right.
It's just one piece of fabric after another until it finally gets done.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, on to my favorite, one of my favorite subjects. Music. Is there a song or an album that you come back to again and again and again in your life?
I find, I realize that I'm really shallow in my music.
Don't say that. That's not fair.
Well, it's like 70s pop music. It's the stuff that I just love hearing. When I hear it on the radio, it takes me back to, not that I want to go back to high school, but it kind of takes me back to that younger time.
Yeah.
And, so I was giving some thought about it because I knew that was one of the questions. And so album-wise, I think it has to be probably James Taylor. It's that White Album, the greatest hits. Yeah, and I can put that on to this day. And what was kind of neat too is that after I met Tom, which is in my mid-20s, he also liked that. So that was something that I had before and after.
Right.
It's like always been
bridge.
There. Yeah, like a bridge kind of. And then individually, I kind of probably narrowed it down. I mean, there's like all sorts of, I had like maybe 5 things that I like, but what is it? Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede. I just love that. I hear it. I start hearing that ooga shaga chaga.
Ooga chaga.
Yeah, right. I start hearing that. I'm like,
and deep inside of me. No,
exactly.
That's a great 70s song, actually.
Yeah, and I just kind of start moving, and I want to get up and do something. Yeah. And then Three Dog Night, Shambhala.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Shambhala.
Yeah.
That was it. We had that 35. No, what is it?
45.
45. No, we had 35.
Little things.
Yeah, no, we had a 45 of that.
Yeah. So that's kind of where is that? And then Crocodile Rock, of course. Now it's especially Interesting. I hear Elton
you,
John's
Elton John.
Crocodile Rock. Maybe that was one of the reasons I wanted to do a crocodile, because I just loved Crocodile Rock.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, Susan Carlson, if a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be, and who would star as you?
That was a tough one, because I never ever even imagined that sort of thing ever.
This is what I'm here for.
Right, exactly. So that really stretched the creative brain. But I employed my husband and my son when I asked that, and Sam, who's now 20, had right off. He said romantic comedy, and I'm like, well, that's better than him right off saying like horror or something.
Action adventure of an artist.
Yeah, that's not me. But romantic comedy, okay. And he had even a great tagline. I want to read that to you. So he right away launched into, say, if you were to read a description about the movie and decide if you wanted to watch it or not. So see if I can say it the way he said it. He's a red-blooded, red meat-eating wharf worker. She's a hippie vegetarian. But can they find true love?
I think we know the answer to that.
So I was like, okay, I'll go for it.
Okay, well, who would star as you?
Tom right away, and I liked the idea, said Meg Ryan. So that young Meg Ryan, and I always wanted my hair looking like hers. I loved the clothes she wore, and I just liked that kind of seriousness but sense of humor. So I'll go for it.
Okay, we'll go for Meg Ryan. Okay, who would play Tom?
Oh, geez, we didn't get to that question.
What do you think? Someone with dark curly hair.
Well, he's kind of scruffy looking then too when I first met him.
Okay,
yeah.
Scruffy, dark curly.
Like 5 o'clock shadow sort of thing. Yeah.
What about a young Mark Ruffalo with a beard? Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, my sister met him in Booth Bay the other day.
I'd go for that. That'd be fun.
For Mark Ruffalo. He has family in Booth Bay. Anyway, okay. So thank you so much. And
Thank you.
You've been ginger snapped. How do you feel?
All right. Sweet.
Good. Oh, good. Okay. So if you guys out there in internet land, if anyone wants to get in touch with Susan, you can go to susancarlson.com. If you want to know more about her technique or see her work, do you let people come to your studio and see your work?
Oh yeah, you've seen my studio. Probably not really.
Well, if you're
it's a classic studio where it's like always in a state of mess, creative mess.
I think there's so much to look at.
Once in a while, I get it cleaned up for a retreat that I give, and then if somebody would happen to call, I might guide them to that.
Right.
But yeah, the best thing is just to look at stuff on the internet, and if you really really want to, you can beg and
if you're
bring cookies or something.
Very nice, and you get in touch with Susan.
Bring vegan cookies.
All right, these are really really good. Thank you to Meta Carlson, Oma, for the recipe and for you for making them. Yeah. These are really good. Yeah, often vegan cookies taste a little cardboardy to me. And these are really good.
They're really It's the
on my third one.
Yeah, and you said you could put the recipe on the
and Facebook, I will put and Susan is giving
I've gotten the
almost given the permission, right? To
where I got them originally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was
we have the permission to put them online.
It was like kind of a health like a health course that I took, and they gave the permission to give the thing. And then also there's a new if anybody's in Brunswick, there's a new cafe. It's a vegan cafe. Yeah. And they have similar sorts of stuff there.
And what's it called?
It's called it's brand new. It's called Farm Fresh Cafe. And it's on 12 Industrial Parkway in Brunswick. Open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Farm Fresh Cafe. Yeah.
Okay, kids. I'm Lisa Redfern. If you want to know about me or my music, you can go to lisaredfern.com. This has been Gingersnap episode 68. I'll be back in a couple weeks with my good friend Buckley Smith, who's a painter. We did that out when I was out at Swans Island, that episode, so I'm gonna put it up in a couple weeks. And thanks again. Right. And this has been Gingersnap.